As the global warming intensifies, it increases the evaporation of moisture from the sea. This moisture then travels with wind disturbances and falls as intense rain. On the other hand, the heating is also causing the landmass to heat up and lose moisture. When the usual rain pattern is affected by climate disturbances, it leads to acute droughts in these regions. So on one hand, the climate change is bringing extreme precipitation. On the other hand, it may cause severe droughts. Droughts. India is heavily dependent on monsoon for its agriculture. Climate change could alter the geographic distribution and intensity of precipitation. Major all-India droughts happened in 1972, 1979 and 1987. The state of Rajasthan and Orissa have suffered the maximum from these acute droughts. Australia has been recently struggling with numerous droughts. One report of 2006 by Guardian says, Australia suffers worst drought in 1,000 years, depleted reservoirs, failed crops, and arid farmland spark global warming tussle. The Guardian, November 2006. The phenomena is global, is brought out by these news headlines. Drought lingers in southern China, impacting 44 million people. September 13, 2011, CNN. Mexico withers under worst drought in 71 years. Some 2.5 million Mexicans are affected by this extreme drought, which could cause widespread hunger for years to come. March 9, 2012, CS Monitor. Worst Russian drought in 50 years. Threatens next crop. August 3, 2010, Bloomberg. The droughts of Russia, Australia and China caused the food prices to rise to their highest level in 2011. Agriculture and food security is extremely important for India because we have 1.2 billion people to feed. Agriculture accounts for 46% of our geographic area, nearly 16% of its GDP, and employs 50% of country's population. Another important weather phenomenon with rising global temperature, heat waves sweeping the globe. Heat wave is a common weather condition during Indian summers, but it can be dangerous. Ahmedabad recorded 300 deaths in a day in May 2010 when temperature rose to 46.8 degrees centigrade. It is the highest temperature recorded in the last 40 years, reported by Indian Express. In Andhra Pradesh, the temperature climbed to 50 degrees centigrade in June 2003 and caused more than 1,400 deaths. May 2006, in neighboring Multan, Pakistan, the temperature soared to 52 degrees centigrade. The average high summer temperature in Multan is 42 degrees centigrade. In 2010, Mohenjo-daro, Pakistan, experienced a high temperature of 54 degrees centigrade. This is the highest temperature ever recorded in Pakistan and possibly the fourth highest ever recorded in the world. These heat waves are dangerous as they lead to increase in fatalities in elderly people, people doing heavy labor, people suffering from disease, people living in vulnerable surroundings like slums. Heat waves in high temperature can also lead to bushfires and forest fires as vegetation is dry and combustible. Year 2003, Portugal and Spain suffer. 440 square kilometer area destroyed, €1 billion in losses. Australian bushfires in 2009 were started by intense heat wave. 173 people died and 78 townships were affected. Russian fires in 2010 started after intense heat wave. The fires were so intense that it took 2 lakh firefighters and more than 200 planes to fight it in 14 regions simultaneously. Climate change is also raising sea levels and melting the ice caps. How is it happening? We will see in the next movie.